All right, we're going to take a look at how to derive an equation of a hyperbola.
How can you derive an equation for the graph of a hyperbola? By definition, the difference of the distances from any point xy on the hyperbola and the foci is constant. The vertices -3, 0 and 3, 0 lie on the hyperbola, so you can use one of those points to find the constant difference. The distance from 3, 0 to the focus -5, 0 is 8. The distance from 3, 0 to the focus 5, 0 is 2. The difference of these distances is 6. So by definition, absolute value of d2 minus d1 equals 6 for any point xy on the hyperbola. Absolute value is used here to make sure the result is positive. Using the distance formula, define the distances d2 and d1. From the graph, you can see that d2 is greater than d1, so the absolute value sign is not needed. You know that d2 minus d1 equals 6. Substitute in the distance formula for each distance. One focus is 5, 0, and the other is -5, 0. So substitute those coordinates in for the foci in the formula. First, move one radical to each side of the equation. Then, square both sides. Expand all the binomials in the equation. Next, isolate the remaining radical, collecting like terms to simplify. Then, divide both sides by 12. Then, square both sides again to remove the remaining radical. Again, expand any binomials. Collect like terms with variables on the left side of the equation and constant terms on the right side. In this case, you need to divide both sides of the equation by 16 to make the right-hand side equal to 1. So the equation for this hyperbola is x squared divided by 9 minus y squared divided by 16 equals 1.
All right, so we have some standard form of our equations of hyperbolas to put into our notes. If your hyperbola opens horizontally, that means that the transverse axis is horizontal. Here is the equation of that hyperbola. Standard form is going to be x squared over a squared minus y squared over b squared equal to 1. And we have equations for our asymptotes. If your parabola or your hyperbola opens horizontally, that means left or right, then your asymptotes are equal to y equals plus or minus the b value over the a value x. So it's going to be just a linear straight line. This will end up being our slope. The y-intercept is 0. It's going through the origin. Okay, if your hyperbola opens vertically, that means the transverse axis is vertical. Our standard form equation is y squared over a squared minus x squared over b squared equals 1. And the equations of our asymptotes, y equals plus or minus a over b x.